What's going on, folks? Can you hear my voice? Is that coming through all right? Can you see my face? All of this kind of stuff? Can you hear my voice? Can you see my face? All right, Andre. Andre, if you can't hear, it's because you're not logged in into the audio setup. Of course, you didn't hear me say that because you can't hear. All right, Andre. All right, I guess you're in now. Andre, can you hear? Can you hear? Can you see? All right, so you guys can hear and you guys can see. Are we good? All right, Sarah says, I can't see and chat at the same time. I now took control of your layout. Can you make the screen as big as you can on your computer screen? Can you now see the text that we're going to be using? It should be popping up right around here. That's a worksheet that we're using. Can you see my face and can you chat at the same time? That's how I roll. All right, awesome, awesome, good. So let's check this out. Let's go through this thing. I think that some of these pages were due, so it wouldn't be fair for me, or I mean, I should have probably covered them, and I think I did. I think I did a pretty good job. Why don't we talk about this vertical line test real quick, and then why don't we talk about this vertical line test real quick, and we'll see what we can do. Cool? Yeah, I know the people who are coming in as, behind, because you can barely see this thing over here, the users inside the group. But to me, I want to make sure, I think that the camera is the best view because that's what I used to teach on. And then it's important that we see the presentation, the chat, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I'm behind the names? Is that what you're saying? Is that the problem? Okay. Try clicking on my picture someplace. I think what that will do is it will make the webcam part more important. All right, you guys fixed it? Awesome. So it works now? We good? All right, let's do this. Let's talk about this thing right here. Let's go through this. Sarah's asking, how do I open an assignment? Sarah, let me think. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try sharing my computer. Oh, man, I can't share my computer screen. All right, what I think you do is, the assignments are simply that you just, all I'm doing is I'm asking, okay, wait. How do you open assignments? I open the assignment Dropbox, but I can't open the assignment. Okay, you open the assignment Dropbox, but the assignment is not working for you. Is that what you're saying? All right, let's take a look. I'm going to take a look into it right now. I'm actually on the computer. I'm looking. So, like the Dropboxes that you're working on, you click on the Dropbox, and what does it say? Is the problem there's nothing in there? Oh, there's no content. Oh, well, what it's saying is that Dropbox, okay, here's what I mean, is that Dropbox says Dropbox Func 2.1 page 1 through 2, right? And then it says no content in the actual content, right? But that's what the Dropbox is called, right? Is that what you're saying? And then when you click on it, it says no content? Say yes, no. Is that the problem you're having? Yeah. All right. What I want you to do there is all I want you to do is I had you print out func2. That's the big PDF packet, the workbook that I have, right? So all I want you to do is turn in pages 1 through 2 in there. So watch, if we go back to, I want you to turn in this page and just put it straight into that Dropbox. The packet is the first, it says read this, I think, or it's called func. The packet is called func_2._handout. It's right inside the module. Does that make sense? Now you have to be able to download it because some other people did it. The Quizzer still doesn't work. Alright, well I'll try to fix the Quizzer. I'm sorry about the Quizzer. I'm going to try to fix that, I promise. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I'm ever using Quizzer. I'm not a big fan of it just yet. But I want to try to use it, so I'm trying to work out all the kinks. I'll fix up the Quizzer, make sure that that works for you. The Dropbox is what I really want. Is I didn't add any content because all I want you to do is turn in your first 2 pages, pages 1 and 2. You get the information for what you need to turn in the title of the assignment. The thing is called Dropbox for Function 2.1, pages 1 and 2. So all I want you to do is take pictures of page 1 and 2. Boom, boom, boom. Good. Alright, so Laura is saying, so for functions 2.4, the page 8, station, what am I supposed to look at? Alright, well let's take a look at page 8. What is page 8 that you're talking about? This thing right here? Oh, I see. I made you turn that in. Okay. The stations, I guess I should have explained that maybe a lot better. The stations, I believe, are in this printout, or they're not in this printout. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll tell you what, folks, why don't I just start working on a class, because it's been about 15 minutes and I still haven't even started class yet. I haven't started class. We're just trying to work out problems. Alright, you still can't open the handout. Sarah, alright, I got a question. Is anyone else having trouble opening up functions_2_handouts .pdf or something like that? Alright, so Laura can, Naomi can, wait, yeah, and then Andre printed it at one point in time, right? So, I'll get back to you on how to do that. It seems that it might be only you have the problem, which isn't to say that it's a personal problem. Sarah, you're also having trouble? Okay, alright. Then why don't I contact the 2 of you after class and we'll work through this problem. Cool? Because if other people are able to do it, that means it's done right on the server side. I need to make sure I fix it on your computer side now. Alright, cool. Let's get this party started. So we're going to talk about functions. For his birthday party, Chaz wants to treat his friends to a day at Game-O-Rama at the local arcade. Game-O-Rama? Alright, let's cross that out and say, yeah, I probably am seeing your messages. I'm responding as quickly as I can. I get like 30 emails a day, so I'm responding as quickly as I can to all of them. I apologize if I haven't been getting back to you on that. Fair enough? And that's not my excuse. That's not a good excuse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Oh. Alright. You want to know the truth, Miss Ellsworth? I see your chat. I haven't said your name. I said Sarah's name mainly because I don't know how to pronounce your first name. To be honest with you, that's why I wasn't responding back to you, calling out your name as I saw the chat go by. Yes, I can see your chat. It's Ariani. Is that good? Good? Bad? Ugly? Arian is all right. All right, Arian. Yes, I've been seeing your chats. I just haven't been responding because I wasn't like 100% sure on the pronunciation of your name, and so I felt bad about that. And so now you finally pressed me on it, and I told you that I just can't read. All right. All right. Good. Awesome. Let's move on. Let's get this party started. Chaz wants to treat his friends to Fun Factory at the local arcade. It says Chaz is on a budget, needs to figure out how much this party would cost. So when he calls Fun Factory, the manager tells him that they have a special group pricing for his birthday parties. All right, what's going on? What are you guys talking about? If you could read, I know what it says. Yeah. I know. Let's tease Mr. Dalday and how he can't read. It's not that I can't read. Yeah. All right. Fine. Tease Mr. Dalday. Go for it. Ha. Mr. Dalday's so funny. He can't read. Anyway. All right. Anyway, Chaz wants to do this. He calls in, and the manager calls up and shows the cost sheet, the number of his friends. And so he said, all right, if I have n friends, it will cost me $20. If I have 2 friends, it will cost me 25, 3, so on and so forth. How much would it cost if you bring 6 friends? $35, exactly. 7 friends, $40, and all. All right. How much would it cost if he brings 7 friends? $35 as well. Huh. So I mean, if I were Chaz, I'd be like, dude, I'm inviting 7 people then. If all I had was $35 to spend, I'm inviting 7 people. Does that make sense? All right. So actually, if you were to plot this function, it would be what we call a step function, which is not something that you guys really need to worry about. But I mean, if you were to just plot this function like this, then it would go $20. Well, if you didn't bring any friends, it would be $0. At 1 friend, it would cost them $20. At 2 friends, it would cost them $25. Right, and it goes up, and then at 3 friends, it costs them $30. At 4 friends, it costs them $30 again, and then at 5 friends, it costs him $35. So it kind of looks like this. We call that a step function. Why? Because it looks like steps, right? Looks like you can just climb right up there, right up to those steps. Now, why are they horizontal? Why isn't it a line, a nice line? You know what I mean? Why can't we have like? Why is this like a, it looks like a kind of a jaggedy function? Because usually the functions we see look like this. Right? Well, the reason being is because, I'll tell you, it's a very simple reason. The reason why it's a jaggedy function is because you can't have half people. Right? Like, what if I invite 1 person, I'll pay $20. If I invite 2 people, I'll pay $25. But then he calls up the manager and says, what if I invite 1.5 people? And then the manager says, well, technically, I'll charge you $22.50. But at the same time, if you cut someone in half, I'll probably just send you to jail instead. See what I mean? So, you can't have half people, so that's kind of why it looks like a little jaggedy. But that's fine. And it's interesting because there's some things where we have the same output for different inputs. We inputted 3 and we got how much money back? $30. Or I mean, how much money did it cost? $30. Well, we put in 4, and it cost $30. So it has the same output for the different inputs. But that's fine. That's still a function, and we're still allowed to do that. Would you guys like to know what's not a function? All right. What would the graph have in? All right. Well, here let's. Well, that's a good question. Would you guys like to know what isn't a function? What if I had on the table, I added 2 more points where it said, okay, here's a table, and it had all of the inputs over here, and it had all the outputs over here. So it said, it was, the last page was this. It said 120, 225, and so on and so forth, dot, dot, dot. We cool? But what if that I added to that table, okay, 13, 45, and 1350. So what I'm saying is I'm allowed to repeat numbers in this column right here, but am I allowed to repeat numbers in this column? Am I allowed to do that? Why not? I mean, can you imagine what that sounds like in the scenario that you're talking about? It sounds kind of dumb, right? It almost sounds to me like the manager is being wishy-washy here, right? Like, you're talking to them and say, all right, I'm going to invite 13 people, and he said, okay, that'll be $45. And you say, cool, all right. So then you talk a little bit more, and then you say, oh, just to confirm, by the way, that was 13 people. He was like, and the manager says, yes, I'm going to charge you $50. And then you say, wait a second, you just charged me $45 for 13 people, and that was like 2 minutes ago. What's the deal? Why are you being a punk? You see what I mean? You can't have 2 different inputs for your function. Your function has to have 1 output for every 1 input that you put in. Now you can have 2 of the same outputs, but you can't have 2 of the same inputs. Does this make sense to you? Yes, you understand this. Do you understand why this would be? Because, all right, fine. Did I go over the post office example with you guys at one point? I think that was probably been my first lecture with you. We talked about the post office. Yes. No. Come on. Answer. I need a response back. Yes or no? No, I didn't. All right. It's kind of like this. All right. Let's role play here. Sarah, you're the manager for Chuck E. Cheese. All right. And Arian, you're the customer who wants to go to Chuck E. Cheese and just be like, I got 13 kids that I want to bring over to my birthday party to Chuck E. Cheese. And then the manager, Sarah, says, all right, that's $13. Boom. All right. Now, Andre is another dude. He's a dude this time. I've seen Andre. He's a good-looking guy. Like, good-looking. Yeah, Justice, careful with the language, all right? I'm going to have to hold you on that one. But anyway, we got another dude, Andre, and he's like the popular kid in town. He's the cool kid. So he calls up Sarah and is like, sup, Sarah? I got 13 people I want to bring over to a party. And Sarah's like, woo, it's Andre. Well, since it's Andre, I'll charge you $40, right? And then Arian finds out about that. He's like, Sarah, you charged me $45 for 13 people, and you charge Andre $40. Let's say you gave him just like $30 just because he's cute, right? And then that's not fair. That's not how a function should work. It should be for everything, every input you have, it should always have and output. But you can't have two of the same inputs and have different outputs. That's what I'm saying. I can't put in 13 people and get a number, and then put in 13 people again and get a different number. Does that make sense? So that's why we're saying that's what a function is. Because if we were to graph this, and we added 13 people, like 13 people was way out here, and we were to have this rule where some were $45, then we would have like 2 points right here. We would have $45 and $50. And that wouldn't be fair. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand how that works? So, how do we know if something is a function or not? Well, we do this trick, and it's called the vertical line test. I'll give you a hint. To do this trick, you use a vertical line. Why would you use a vertical line? Because it's called the vertical line test. Just do it. And what this trick shows you is it shows you whether or not something is a function. Oh, by the way, I hope that you guys were taking notes on that, because that was actually the answer to like the previous problem. I think they wanted you to graph it so it kind of looked like a steppy function like that. Anyway, if you wanted to, I'm going to ask you a question. Is this a function? Actually, you know what? I'll make it like that. Yeah, is this a function? And in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that for every input there is for every input there is only one output. So what you do is you take a vertical line. I'm going to use my keyboard right now, and you put it on your graph, and then you just sweep this thing across, and you see this vertical line right here, this silver line right here. The question you ask yourself is, as you move this silver line across your graph, does it touch the graph at more than one point? Does that make sense to you? Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? So you just take this thing and sweep it across. Sweep or sweep. Did it touch at more than one point? The answer is no, it didn't. As I move this thing across, it only touched at one point. It touched here, touched there, touched here, touched there, touched there, all of that kind of stuff. It goes back up and then comes back down. We're good. It touches only at one point. This is a function. Now here's another question. Ready? Is this a function? Is that a function? Here's my graph. It looks like this. Is that a function? Well, let's take the vertical line test. All right. Does it touch at more than one point? No. No, it's still only touching at one point. Only one point. Oh, see right there, it touches at how many points? See this vertical line right here? How many points does it touch this graph at? 2. No. 3. Exactly. 1, 2, 3. It touches at 3 points. Ergo, it is not a function. Because for one input, for 1.5, you have 3 different outputs. That's cheating. That's like being Sarah and crushing all over Andre kind of deal. Which I have no idea whether or not Sarah likes Andre. It's not something I'm implying here. I'm just letting you guys know. It was just an example, okay? Calm down. We cool? Which I think is hilarious, because I remember one time when I was learning this stuff, I had a friend who was like, I don't understand. This thing passes the vertical line test. You know, he keeps going like this. And what we usually do is we usually literally take our pencils and we, just sweep it across the graph. And I said, oh, baboos. It's called the vertical line test. So you, instead of, I don't know what's going on, you should use a vertical line. Because he was using a horizontal line. Baboos. Anyway, whatever. Alright, can I move on? Wow, I mean nothing by that. Alright, anyway. The M&M game All right, awesome. So we're gonna play the M&M game, and that's something you guys can do. Large number of radioactive M&Ms. Your job is to. All right, so that's just an activity you guys can do. And then you know what? I'll tell you what. For this homework assignment, for this problem right here, you don't need to worry about page 8 and 9. Because somebody asked me, what do I do for page 8 and 9? And my answer is, I don't know. So for now, just skip it. Sound good? Alright, why don't we go over page 10 and 12, because I think that pretty much covers up the rest of functions too. Cool? You guys feel good about how we're going through this, and I'm talking about this, and I'm helping you out here? Alright, I'm going to move on, so I need you guys to take a picture of the board if you guys haven't copied everything down. So, the way you take a picture of the board is quite simple. You hold down the control button on your Google Chromebook and press the button above the number 6. That should take a screenshot of this, and then I can erase this without having you guys complain about me erasing this. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Erase. Or you can watch the archive. Yes, you can always watch the archive. Just go in 26 minutes into the archive and boom, there you got it. So without asking whether you're done or not, I'm erasing. I want you guys to learn how to do that quick. Take a screenshot of your computer screen. That way you have the good notes on it. All right, let's do this one. Franklin is selling kites to earn money for his upcoming trip to Big Island. He wants to apparently go and help out, the people who got hit pretty hard with a hurricane in Big Island. He had to buy equipment to make his kites $56 and sell them, and he sells each kite. Wait. He had to buy equipment to make the kites for $56, and he sells each kite he makes for $7. The equation is PK equals 7K minus 56. Now remember, this is how we read the equation. This right here doesn't say P times K. This says the price as it depends on K. Alright? This notation is not the number P times the number K. It's saying the function P of K. The price as it relates to K. We cool with that? Now, the 7K minus 56, this kind of says, well, this is how much money he makes. Okay? If he only sells one kite, did he make money? That's my question to you. If Franklin bought the kite making machine for $56 and he sells one kite for $7, did he make money? Is he a happy dude? No, right, he's not. He's not happy. Because he's out $49. So that's where that minus 56 comes in. You have to take into account, like you're trying to figure out how much profit you made. You have to take into account, yeah, exactly. He needs to make up the money first. So you have to take into account how much money it's going to take for you to, how much money it took to buy the kite making equipment. So now, does this equation make sense to you? Do you understand where? Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Thanks. I like this shirt. It's cool. It's a mathy equation. Anyway, whatever. You kind of understand where this stuff comes from, like why we would come up with that equation. We didn't just pull it out of our butts and say, memorize it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to show you, oh, I understand why we would use this. I understand where this thing comes from. All right, anyway. What is the value of P20? And you know what I noticed? I noticed that you guys were having trouble with this idea. So what is the value of P20? All you got to do is take 20 and plug it into the K, and then you can figure it out. So 20 times K, that would be 140 minus 56. 140 minus 56 is 184. No, 84. Thanks, Andre. You got it before me. You must have a calculator. Or just really smart. That's fine, too. Okay? That is what P20 equals to. Now, I remember asking you a question at one point in my life and saying, what does P20 mean? What does that mean? I don't want what the value is. What does it mean? What is it telling you? What is it asking of you? Well, what it's asking of you is, how much profit are you going to make if you sell 20 kites? That's what it's saying. That's what this, just writing this is just like asking, if I sell 20 kites, how much profit am I going to make? Does that make sense to you? So, if I were to write P20 down, what I would write is, I say, this is asking for the profit made for selling 20 kites. This is asking for the profit made. And if you ask, what is it equal to? Well, we know that that's equal to 84. So the value of P20 is 84, but the meaning of P20 is saying, what profit did I make after selling 20 kites? Are we cool? And then they give you a bunch of these kinds of problems, which these are actually kind of pretty cool. Let's take a look at this middle one, this middle function right here. See this one right here, the one I've got my red cursor going around? Is that a function or is it not a function? Is it a function, yes or no? In fact, don't say yes or no, just say function, not a function. Alright, I'm getting a bunch of no's, which I'm assuming is not a function. Why? Why is it not a function? Why do you think it's not a function? What's your beef with it? It touches in multiple bases. Yes, exactly. I think what Ariane means is that if you do a vertical line test, once you put your vertical line out at 3, it touches at 2 points. So therefore it's not a function. Do you guys get it? So for that one input of 3, you got 2 different outputs. Got it? Alright folks, I gotta end class now. I'll talk to you guys later. Sorry, I gotta go real quick. But Ariane and Sarah, I'm gonna get back with you. Try to make sure that you guys can upload those files. Alright. Peace.